Hello, one and all, and welcome to our last Ice Queendom discussion. Oh, I'm the only mate, and with me, as always, is...
You made that so sad. Max, if you trades. Hello.
Yep, we've got the Ice Queendom finale.
Sorry it took so long for it to come out. It's been a very busy month, for all the obvious reasons.
Yeah, on both sides. Like,
yeah, we won't get into it. It's been busy, but we're here. We're gonna talk about it. The plot is over, so what even is gonna happen? Cute stuff mostly.
I'm already having some tech difficulties apparently because my video just froze when I tried playing it.
Great sign. Great sign. Do you have it working now?
Yes. Okay. I think because I had it paused on the very beginning for so long.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. But the girls are in pajamas again.
Yep, Ruby's writing to Ty, Weiss is writing to Winter.
Yang is playing games, and Blake is reading porn. The way she do, openly, in front of her friends. You know what? Power move. I respect it.
I mean... Yeah, I have no other things to say about that, but, like, yeah.
Yeah, where are you gonna go with that? You aren't. That's where. Anyway, apparently this is, like, the first time they're writing to their families at this point, that's pretty interesting, honestly.
Well, so I just noticed, like, in this shot before, when Yang just, like, hangs upside down, there's that bookshelf in the background.
What about that bookshelf in the background?
I don't think I remember that in past episodes. Of, like,
I don't think I do either, frankly.
Ever, so, that's nice.
Huh, it is.
More of a place for Blake to have her books.
Hey. I mean, she do be a big old nerd. That much is very, very accurate.
And Yang's just all, hey, wanna play a video game? Ruby,
she's
Blake's
like,
all,
nah.
Not really.
All silently, pantomimingly.
I love Yang's pout.
Yeah, it's like, why do? Why no play? That's a really good picture of her. There are some benefits to seeing the girls in like a 100% legitimate anime style, and it's just stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, while Ruby's just writing about how supportive everybody's being.
Yeah, Weiss and Ruby are displaying their character development that they have experienced as Yang beats the ever-loving tar out of Blake in a video game.
Yeah, so
that's a great way to make her want to play with you again, dude. You dingus.
Yeah, I was talking about this off camera. It's just like the health bar difference, and there's like, alright, knowing Blake, I doubt she's ever played this before.
Probably not.
Yeah. And
everyone knows that the biggest gamer of Team RWBY is Weiss, not Blake.
I don't know. A Yang kind of strikes me as the type. It's just like, you know, when you like try and get your friend into a fighting game, you're just like, okay, so here are the buttons. Here's how you throw attacks. Let's go. Doesn't tell any like combos or character mechanics, and just annihilates their friend who hasn't played before.
Yeah, like, way to go. You're looking great.
Like, Yang strikes me as the type. Also, you watching, we've all done it.
But you see, because this is the kind of person I am. Weiss is being pretty dang adorable. She go foof onto the bed. It's pretty great. And she's being all nice. She's saying that Ruby is a pretty reliable gal, and everything's probably gonna be okay.
Ah, but did you notice that while she didn't say it out loud, she said that Ruby is one of her best friends at Beacon.
Yep, and that is undeniable.
Yeah.
But she did not say the specific thing that most people are looking for her to say.
Yeah, like, hopefully in Volume 9 she'll finally say it.
One day she'll admit to being a BFF. And at least not deny it when said at her.
Yeah.
We shall see.
Ruby's writing about how she still has a lot to learn about becoming a huntress. And,
boy howdy, knowing how the next 8 seasons of her life are going to go, yeah, kinda. And we have, like, I believe it's a bit of a flashback? I admit to being slightly confused when the scene started playing.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm confused about when this takes place. Is this, like, before the nightmare stuff, or is this after?
I do not know. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, because if it was before the nightmare stuff, how? The way this was portrayed made it seem like it happened immediately after the argument happened and the reconciliation. But after is weird, because why would they suddenly bring it all back up?
I don't know, maybe it was just like, look, we still have to resolve it. Oh, wait! Blake said that she wanted to talk with Weiss again and, like, work things out, so maybe, like, yeah, this is afterwards, and this is what she was referring to.
Yeah, that makes sense. But then they have themselves a handshake.
Yeah,
hey, bros.
you know, they resolve everything. Everything's good.
Yang do a clap. Everybody feels better, and it's good times.
Yeah.
It's a very chill episode. Also, apparently, Ruby.
Also, before anyone brings up about how, like, yeah, Blake promises to not go off on her own if something like this happens again. Yeah, the circumstances at the end of Volume 3 were very different.
They really were. It's easy to try and get all persnickety about it, but that's not quite how that's not how it works.
Yeah, and also I'll just add that was one of the things that somewhat ruined the hiatus of, like, between volumes 3 and 4 for me. It was just everybody dunking on Blake. Just like, yeah, I get it. She said she wasn't going to, but the circumstances were very different, and she probably hates herself right now.
Yep, and wouldn't you know it, turns out she did. Characters are allowed to make flaws if they make up for it later, and she did. We can move on now. That stands to Weiss too. She made mistakes, but she's made up for them a lot. And of course, Ruby has to needle her about the whole nightmare thing again, embarrassing her. Stop embarrassing the Weiss. That's not okay.
By the way, I'm also just looking at the night pieces in the background.
Yeah.
I've said it before, I love that they have those. It's cute.
But you gotta like the scene of Blake lifting, like, the big pile of books. And just like, here you go, Yang. Read the books.
Yeah, I love that shot. And, fun fact, you probably haven't read these because, you know, they're the comics. But there's one where, you know, Yang's just all about, like, you know, making everybody around her, like, you know, feel good. Like, making sure everybody's happy. Blake in particular.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. Tries, you know, taking her out for a rodeo. I guess she's bullfighting, apparently.
Wow, okay.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, I get the foreshadowing, but that still seems exceedingly random and odd that you could just go to one of those so easily in Remnant. But okay.
There's also, like, cooking together, in which Yang burns a whole turkey, like, to a crisp.
As you do.
It's like, yeah, remember when RWBY said Blake is probably the best cook of Team RWBY?
Through necessity, yeah.
Yeah, I buy it. And then there's taking her out to, like, a bar or something, and they talk about, you know, Blake's books and the stories that she likes, and even, like, recommending some to Yang, and they have a conversation the next day about it, where Blake even lends Yang The Man with Two Souls.
Oh.
And in the hiatus of volumes 3 and 4, Yang reads it.
Oh, that's neat.
And I think it's actually speculated, like, when we first see her in Volume 4, she looks over to a pile of books before turning the TV on.
Yeah.
People speculate The Man with Two Souls might have been amongst those.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's really cute.
It's a pretty popular book.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is something that assuming that you're done with that line of thought.
Yeah, sorry, I just saw Yang like with a tongue out.
Yeah, she liked it. She's silly. Okay, so you wouldn't know this, and honestly, I wouldn't have either. But you know, I'm friends with Nightstar, and that guy is very, very particular about certain things. All right, you know the very next animation thing. I'm not even gonna call it a scene, but it's like a transition of like the coffee.
Mm-hmm.
It's all like very simplistic and stuff.
Yeah, like how you get a coffee machine.
Yeah, that's like a very common thing for this particular animation studio to simplify mundane activities like that. They like, and I'm blanking on the name of the show, but there's a show, and they very rarely actually show the characters walking from place to place. They'll just show like a brief animation of footsteps, and then they're somewhere else.
Makes sense.
Basically, they found a way. Yeah, they basically found a way to cut down on the costs of animating more mundane activities by making it a stylistic choice. And it's neat that even just briefly showed up here. I believe this is the animation studio Shaft, I believe. If I'm wrong, I'm really gonna get the I'm really gonna get the business end if I don't. But hopefully I am correct. And Weiss gives her the coffee because she is good friend.
Cream with 5 sugars.
Yes. They're freaking adorable, you know that?
Yeah, all 4 of these girls are.
Oh my god. Anyway, because this episode, is the finale. There is no theme song. They basically had the intro credits over Ruby and Weiss's little soliloquy.
Yeah.
And we say bye to Xion.
Yeah. Gotta say goodbye.
Xion. You were somebody who existed for a while, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now you are gone.
We get an explanation on Xion's semblance. And,
apparently, yeah. I kind of like it. I dig it.
Yeah, so we're going to be diving back into this. How their semblance basically was to be able to, see people's hearts. Man.
Very Kingdom Hearts of her.
I was also going to say Persona.
Yeah, I know, but I just wanted to try and bring up something other than that. But yeah, no. Look, they may never admit it, but Persona was definitely a heavy inspiration for a lot of this miniseries.
It has to be, and we see Jean, and then I guess negative Jean, which I guess is what that bunny version was. So,
I guess that, it's the version of him in the nightmare. So yeah.
Yeah, I guess that works. I'll be honest, not my first thought when we were thinking back to it. So yeah, that was on me.
Yeah, but but what else would it have been?
Yeah, then we get Weiss, Shadow Weiss, Blake, Shadow Blake.
When you get down to it, it actually makes sense when you think about it, because what is what are the shadow versions? They're basically what they ultimately fear the most they'll end up becoming, or just what their deep-seated fears of who they really are. It makes sense that Jean's shadow would basically just be very sad and pathetic and helpless, because that is something he's afraid of being.
Basically, just like a whimpering kid.
Yeah. And also a rabbit, I guess.
For some reason. I guess that's his spirit animal.
He is the bunny man. Which is weird, because there already is a bunny.
Yep.
What does Velvet think about all this?
That's a good question. If only she were here.
But she's not.
Nah.
But yeah, anyway, Xion's semblance basically evolved and changed to be more dream-based.
Yeah, specifically to combat the nightmare.
Yeah, it's it's an extraordinarily hyper-specific ability to have, but damn if it didn't save a bunch of lives, so I ain't gonna make fun of it.
Yeah. Ruby's like, whoa, semblances can change?
They are a Dreamweaver. Yeah, they can. Oddly, we've only seen one of the main characters do that, but hey, maybe later. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the only evolved semblance we've seen so far is Ren.
Out of the main cast, I believe so.
Yeah.
Although,
Which,
depending on how
it's
seriously,
cool, but, like...
depending on how seriously you want to take Arrowfell,
yeah.
we'll get into that in an Arrowfell discussion.
Yeah. Anyway.
But let's just say Blake is busted.
Yeah, indeed.
And speaking of,
Weiss is exceptional.
And speaking of, we get this shot of Blake, Jean, and Weiss as Shion is saying that the Nightmare is attracted to those with strong aura and sensitive
exceptional talent.
Yeah.
Exceptional talent. There you go. Thank you. Yank makes fun of her, but it's true. Weiss do be exceptional.
And Weiss, so will you just stop?
I continued. Like, it's how many times has this show talked about the fact that semblances evolve and change with the person? And, like, so many dang times, and we don't see nearly enough examples of it. So come on, Volume 9, be cool.
Come on, RWBY, let it be a thing.
Just have the girls become even more powerful. Do it.
I wouldn't... You know what? I've said this before, I'll say it again. My ideal evolved semblance for Blake is her not only making more shadow clones, but just shadow clones of other people. Like, those she's close to, and the closer she is with that person, the stronger the clone, or, like, the longer it lasts, or however you want to go about it.
You want to know my
It would emphasize the whole I'm not alone thing.
Yeah, that's fantastic. You want to know my incredibly hyper-specific upgrade to Weiss's semblance that will never happen in a million years, but would be really freaking cool?
What's that?
If she could basically kind of quasically merge with her summons.
Yes! I want that! I wanted to see her summon the Armagigas armor, but, like, over herself.
Yeah, that'd be so
that'd
cool.
That'd be
but
awesome!
You could even go a little bit further with that, like, I don't know, say she, like, summons the Nevermore over herself, and it kind of, like, gives her, like, this bird motif, and she gets the wings and can, like, fly. You could even have, like, the boar tusk show up and have, like, that might be, like, more of, like, a heavy armor type thing where she can charge at people. I'm just saying there's potential there, and it would be really cool.
Oh, imagine her combining the Armagigas with the Nevermore.
There you go! Flying Night Weiss, that'd be so cool. That's never gonna happen, but damn, it would be neat.
You know what? That's another reason why White Knight probably won't happen, because she alone is the White Knight.
She is! I like that idea. Oh, anywho.
Sorry, John.
Yeah. Anyway, RWBY thanks Shion for all that went down, and you know what? That's pretty good, because several friends would be dead now if it weren't for them.
Yeah.
Real lucky you were in the neighborhood. I mean, I know, they were there for the explicit purpose of hunting down the Nightmare, but still. Also, this shot of Nora teasing Weiss is painfully cute.
Yeah. I was also going to add, so before Shion leaves, they say, Team RWBY, Team Juniper, you're both exceptional teams. I look forward to seeing all of you grow.
Yes.
That's painful.
Oh,
because of the last person on Juniper they show.
Oh, because of the being dead. Yeah, that is a bummer. Well, 7 out of 8 ain't bad.
I guess, but still, like...
Mathematically, that's still pretty good.
I still miss Pura.
I know, we all do. Well, look, the good news is anytime any kind of spin-off media or supplementary material is ever created, Pura is one of the very first things they decide to throw back in. So, she's never truly gone forever.
Yeah, true. Plus, hey, if where they are in Volume 9 is connected to the afterlife, because I guess that's a speculation that people have, Pura could totally come back in that.
At least for a little bit.
Yeah.
Get a proper goodbye. That'd be nice.
Yeah, give Sean some closure. Like, that'd be nice.
But anyway, as Shion flies away forever, Ozpin decides time to get some serious nonsense going on here. Like, this gets super serious. And he calls, honestly, at the time, I was very confused. It's like RWBY and Blake. And I'm like, what? That seems like a weird two people to call, but alright.
Yeah, that's how I felt when I was watching the sub.
Oh?
Yeah, just like, wait, specifically Ruby and Blake, why?
Yeah, like, why those? I mean, I get Ruby. Yeah, sure. But, like Blake seems really random. And I'd still say it's kind of random, but there is a point.
Yeah, there is a point.
Sort of? I don't know. It's weird that they would put this... Anyway.
Well, okay, I have a lot of
first,
sayings about
Ruby.
the Blake conversation, but yeah, Ruby.
Yeah, start with Ruby. It's just like, hey, you still think you a stupid bad leader who is bad at her job? And she's like, well, I could still be doing better, but I think things are going okay. And then Ozpin's all like,
yeah,
that's very interesting.
She's gonna do her best.
Do you perhaps remember having super laser eyes? And Ruby's all like, say, what? No, I don't. He doesn't say it like that, but
Yeah, it's just like, this is how they explain away the whole silver eyes and, like, it not breaking canon.
Which I call kind of bullplop on, because, again, at least the first time we saw Ruby use it in canon, she, like, immediately passed out, so okay, fine. But in this, she stayed perfectly conscious the whole time and just never bothered to even ask, like, hey, I shot lasers out of my face. How I do that?
Yeah, I mean, it might be different if it's coming out of, like, your eyes. You might not really be able to register.
Yeah, but I mean, look, just from her perspective, she was ensnared by the nightmare. She was about to get absolutely annihilated, and then a huge bright light just showed up out of nowhere, and then she was free. I'd ask questions.
Yeah, I would too. But,
Regardless,
I mean, Ruby is Ruby, I guess.
Ruby is a simple gal, and she's just like, hey, you know what really matters? Friendship. And that's what saw me through. And you know what? Fine. You know what? That's adorable enough that I'm going to accept it. Approved.
And I was just like, well, that's good enough for me.
I mean, eventually, at some point, some bad nonsense is going to go down, and you're going to start shooting lasers out of your face, so get ready for that. In the most, more eloquent way you could.
Yeah, and Ruby finds out that everybody waited for her.
And it's adorable.
Well, because they're curious as to what that was about.
Yeah, what are you going all about then? It's like, just affirmations, friendship, bonds, social ranks, all that business. That's kind of what it was. Ultimately, it really is just like, friendship makes you stronger.
I also want to call this out. So, Weiss is all, so he was complimenting you. And then Yang being wait, then why did he want to talk to Blake as well?
Yeah, what? Blake has nothing worth.
Kinda comes across a bit mean there, Yang, but okay.
And since we're talking about Yang, alright, so I'm
You noticed it too.
Okay. Okay, so good, I don't have to actively say it out loud. There is a particular aspect of Yang here that seems somewhat more exaggerated than it typically is.
A little bit.
Okay, cool. You noticed too. I'm just gonna chalk it up as a bit of a wonky drawing for this particular scene. That's all I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
And it really shows, because even just a second later when they change the angle of the shot, she's instantly looks normal again.
Yeah, so I think it's just that weird angle.
It was just a weird angle and a weird drawing, and we're not going to talk about it, but you are going to show the picture just so everyone can see it and go, oh.
Yeah, if you don't see it, that's on you.
Good on you. Yeah. Anyway, Blake needs to go talk to the professor, and she says, y'all can get the hell out of here. And they're like, well, dang, all right, I guess.
They're just gonna go to a cafe.
Yeah, they are. Although Weiss, she ponders a ponderous thought.
Which we'll get back to,
anyway,
because it's time for Blake and Ozpin, and...
It's time for super somber, serious Blake and Ozpin time.
Yeah, so Ozpin brings up about how, Blake stopped the robbery and helped defeat the nightmare. And how Blake has incredible potential, because she do. And Blake saw, oh yeah, I only did what I had to do. Like, any good person would.
Word.
And this is basically a recreation of that little talk they had at the start of Volume 2 about how usually students spend, years at combat schools prepping for the entrance exam for Beacon. But there's been no record of Blake attending one, and yet she passed the exam with flying colors.
which is crazy. Blake just said, I live a hard life.
Yeah.
I mean, she did. I can't argue that.
Which, Osborn respects. And how his school
Yes, but-
welcomes everyone from all walks of life. Rich, less fortunate, human, faunus.
I know, like, okay, look, Ozpin makes it so blisteringly unsubtle about where he's going with this.
Yeah, he kind of did in
It's
the
just
original as well. The way he takes a sip, like, between human and faunus.
Yeah. And the inflections, it's just like, hey, yo, I know you a cat. Why you lying?
Yeah, and he also brings up that they have a number of faunus students, and, like, exchange students, like, that are faunus, or wouldn't really question Blake on that at all. But, Blake brings up, like, even with this attempt, there are still people out there who, hate the faunus. And she's just trying to, like, avoid unnecessary attention.
Yeah. Then Ozpin gets real serious.
Well, yeah, he wants to, bridge the divide, but yeah, that's not as easy as he makes it sound. And I love that they bring this line back. Blake says she wants people to see her for her.
Yep.
Like, not, what she is, or what they think she is.
Yeah. Not for being faunus, not for being purple, just for being Blake.
Yeah. Which is how Yang sees her. Anyway,
Shut up! Gah! I slap at thee. You stop that.
It was in a manga, and I like that, okay?
You're in a manga! Anyway,
How's
Ozpin
it
asks
sell?
if she is... I don't know.
Oh,
Anyway,
anyway.
Ozpin decides to get, like, super duper serious for a second. It's like, hey,
Yeah,
so
he gets serious
I
and
know you're
borderline
I know you're
kind of
lying to me about
assertive here.
Yeah, it's like, I know you're lying to me about something incredibly important. Do you want to stop lying? And Blake's all like, nah. And then it's like, are you sure? Because you really should consider not lying to me.
There's
Blake's
also,
like, nah,
how exactly did you know the White Fang were going to be at where they were? I just knew.
Yeah. Science.
Yeah, so just in
Intuition.
time to stop the robbery, you didn't have any other idea as to why they'd be there? Yeah, it's just like
Nah.
I said. And because the way he says, like, yeah, I'm a huntsman and I'll do whatever it takes to protect this peace. And the way he's, like, staring at Blake with all this, just like...
It's very intimidating, honestly.
Yeah! Like, they made Osborn a lot more aggressive here than he was in the original.
I mean, yeah, they did. But then it's like, all right, last chance. Are you gonna stop lying? And Blake's like, nah. And then the husband's like, all right, later. It's something, man. Let me tell you.
I do like that was all happening just like in the shadow, and then when the sunlight comes back, he's like, a bit more like friendly, saying if you ever
Chipper.
need to talk, like, don't hesitate to ask.
Yeah, that was a
Which-
little tonal whiplash. I'm not
Which was also a
gonna-
thing
not
in the
gonna lie.
original.
It was, yes. It's just very convenient.
Yeah.
Anyway, Blake is allowed to leave, and she does. But
Only to
shock,
discover
shock and awe.
Weiss
Weiss
waited
is
for her.
there. She did. And they have themselves another little old talk.
Yeah.
Well, and it yes.
When I was watching the sub of this scene, I was just thinking, man, I can't wait for this to be dubbed and for me and Max to talk about it.
Yeah, because it's basically the big Weiss and Blake moment.
Yeah.
But, Blake basically talks about the fact, it's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he knows, but at the same time, I ain't gonna admit it, because, like, if I ever tell people that I was in the White Fang, I don't know, I'm probably gonna get expelled, and that would really suck. So I don't want to do that.
But then Weiss is all, yeah, well, me, Ruby, and Yang aren't gonna let him do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, Weiss just says, hey, as long as you promise that you're literally never going back to the White Fang under any circumstances whatsoever, then, you know, we're cool. And Blake's all like, I ain't gonna do that. It's like, and then Weiss just like, double down. You absolutely positively ain't lying to me in any capacity whatsoever. You on the up and up, we cool? And she's like, yeah. I was like, all
Okay,
right.
so I've only just thought about this.
What are you thinking about?
So, okay, this is going back to Bumblebee stuff, but bear with me on this. So, I've seen fans say, oh, like, Yang is basically the foil to Adam, like, the opposite. Like, similar in some regard, but nothing like him. And how Blake is that with Raven. And remember why Raven and Crow joined Beacon? Like, to learn how to, like, kill huntsmen and huntresses. And Raven would eventually leave and, you know, take that skill set to her tribe.
Yeah.
This is Blake saying she's not doing the exact same thing Raven did.
Yeah, that's the thing. And if anything, it's like her initial reason for getting here, it was literally the opposite of that.
Yeah, that was never her goal.
Yeah, so, not quite. And then if anything, it's... Basically, the point of this scene, and a lot of this entire series, is, well, Blake and Weiss are actually pretty solid mirrors of each other in a way. That's kind of part of the whole thing they're going for here. But you know, Blake says that she just wants to protect the peace. That's literally her entire goal. And Weiss is like, hey, yo, I want to do that too. I know my family sucks on toast, but I'm gonna kick some serious ass. And then Weiss, she lets down that guard. She says she's inexperienced and she's naive and she's not too powerful, but she's gonna eventually get really freaking awesome and she's gonna make the world better.
Yeah, and even says, when it's time, I hope that you and I can change the world together.
Yeah.
Which-
It's very, 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 very sweet. I like it a lot.
Which, you know what, I've seen art of this. It's just like, art of, like, you know, Blake becoming the new head of Gira's new movement. And, you know what? I would like to think that, RWBY, Weiss, and Yang, they would become the first human members.
I think they probably would.
Yeah.
But yeah, so...
That-
Blake,
Weiss in particular,
yes.
that'd be a big deal, because, oh damn, one of the new heads of the Shnee Dust Company, and the head of the Faunus Peace Movement, they're like...
Yeah.
They're friends, working
pretty good.
together, and actively, you know, trying to make everything better for everyone. Whoa!
So it's pretty great. It's pretty great. And basically, Blake says, she comments on the fact that, whoa, yo, you've actually changed. And Weiss just kind of sidesteps it and just says, well, you could say I'd prefer just to never have to fight you ever again. Which, fair.
Yeah, I'm fine with that as well.
Remember that? I remember. It's like, oh, you remember that? It's like, I remember enough to not like it and being very embarrassed by it. And I enjoy Trauma Weiss. I like when she gets all dramatic like that. It just reminds me of, I hate these games that we play.
Then there's just like time Blake promise you'll never bring it up again, which that's why in canon this is never mentioned.
Yep, because they respect Weiss's wishes. That's what I'm gonna go with. Ruby's drawing faces on pancakes.
Damn, she's good at that.
She's so talented. First she painting butts, now she decorating pancakes. You love to see it. You really do.
Could you imagine Ruby
Also,
opens an art gallery? Nora ate everything.
How dare she?
I'm
Now
ruined.
Yang does, and now Yang does the big sisterly bully. It's basically saying, hey, you know, you've changed a bit, you know, a bit since you got here. And Ruby's all like, what you talking about?
I don't
And
want to
she starts-
stand out. I won't know anybody.
Yeah.
Crescent Rose will be my only friend.
That's basically throwing that all back at her, and Ruby's like, hey, I had a lot of reasons to have some self-doubts. I don't know why you got to be a butt about it. And it's like, and then you said, oh, you didn't even want to be on my team because you're a butt. And then it's like, hey, I didn't actually try to be mean. It's just fun. This is a fun dynamic. It's nice seeing Ruby and Yang be sisters.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, I'm going to be honest, it's very easy to forget that they are. Just visually, they look so different from each other.
I'll still remember just this interaction with Ragnar and Cross Tag Battle. And just like, wow, he's all, wait, you two are sisters?
Says the guy whose brother was Jin. Like, very pot and kettle type situation there. That being said, RWBY very, very angrily eats pancakes, and I'm not gonna lie, it's adorable.
Yeah. While she makes the point, it's just like, hey, I was greatly in Weiss's dream, and I'm gonna make a ton of friends. Numb.
Yeah. Oh, while also eating pancakes. And then Sun shows up. How? I don't know, he just kind of teleports in, I guess.
I guess.
Which, I gotta be honest with you, and this is probably one of, like, the only flaws with this final episode, is the fact that, you know, they found a way to incorporate Sun again, but they don't bring Penny back.
Well, I guess, like, the next time they're meant to see her is, like, you know, when they're doing their first mission in Volume 2.
Oh, they could have... Okay, look. They could have fudged it a little bit just to have her show up one more time.
Yeah. Although I guess, like, because she was, like, taken away after that whole fight at the dock, why is she roaming the streets and Yang just casually finds her again?
Exactly. So they very easily could have had Penny show up at this cafe scene just for a second, you know?
I don't know. I've only just thought about that. But...
Help justify the whole reason that she's even in this to begin with. I'm just saying, I appreciate when they find ways to make it actually, you know, whenever they made it actually have like a point to have Sun or Penny show up in any capacity. Anyway.
And speaking of Sun, they ask, are you always by yourself? Like, with no friends?
Yes.
And he's like, nah, mine should be getting here soon.
And then Sun's all like, hey, you know, look, I have a friend, sort of. Kind of sucks, but I have one. I also have, like, 2 other team members, but they're literally the most not important thing ever.
Yeah, we're gonna get a little something of that, because why is some Blake here?
Okay, so this is weird. I admit that this is weird. I need to point it out, because I just like the animation detail. Okay, and it's not for the reason you think, alright? Getting this out of the way, but I want to point it out. I enjoy the fact that when it's at 14. Basically, when Weiss sits down, she basically kind of swoops the backside of her dress underneath her so that she doesn't sit down on it awkwardly, which is something that, you know, somebody who wears an outfit like she does actually would.
That's also just something a lot of animators might not think about. So, yeah, attention to detail.
I just really liked it. And look, if they're gonna focus on that shot, then I'm gonna look at it. Dang it, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, she actually invites like, hey. Sun to, you know, join him.
Yeah, it's just like, what? I thought you were a racist. And Weiss is all like, Jesus Christ, why? No, she doesn't hate the Faunus. Good lord.
Just the white fang for obvious reasons.
Yeah. Because of that. And then there's a kitty pancake, and then there's just a normal kitty, and the kitty is purple, and it's like it's Blake.
Yeah. Oh, and
cat is the cat, and so is she.
Oh, and I'm just remembering it was in that Blake manga. There's this time where Blake finds and adopts a cat for a brief time. Just a little kid. She gives him like one of her bows, like wears it like a collar, but eventually has to give him up, and she's sad. But Yang's all, hey, you good? And she smiles, just like, yeah, he'll have a great life.
Yeah. How about the kitty?
Yeah. I like that. It was adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they strike a deal with they strike a deal with Sun. It's like, hey.
No telling anybody that Blake is a Faunus. I won't.
Hey, buddy, this girl's a Faunus.
He literally does do that almost immediately.
Yeah.
I guess the situation is slightly different, but I mean, it's hard to deny that, yeah, he says he won't tell anybody, and then he totally does. Even if it is somebody he trusts a whole lot. The fact of the matter is, technically he lied.
Yeah. Okay, so he asks, like, is it really that big of a deal to people? Yeah, Sun doesn't really understand that.
Yeah.
Like, he
It's
doesn't
less-
understand a whole lot of things if you read the book.
Yeah.
Like, he just has a particular way of thinking.
He's a weirdo. Anyway, asks if, you know, what about Team Juniper? What are they all up about? And it's like, oh, they're all focused on John's training.
Yeah.
And then, what? No, hang on, no. White
Sorry,
says something that is... Yes?
Sorry, I just love how Weiss just being all, if you tell anyone, or if you don't tell anyone, I won't tell the police about you being a stowaway.
That's how the Weiss do. But I really appreciate the line from Weiss of, Pyrrha certainly has some strange taste in men.
Oh, sorry, I was gonna comment, I
Yes?
forget who exactly says this because I missed the lip flap, and, you know, I've got the episode muted.
Yeah, so do I.
Alright, you know what, I'm gonna edit this part out just so I can briefly make sure I know who it is. Oh my god, it was Blake!
Who did she say? What?
So, when Sun says, I won't even tell my friends, Blake just goes, what friends?
Yeah,
The way she
did
says
say
that, oh my god!
Yeah. You heard it here first, folks. Blake don't consider Sun a friend. Absolutely buried.
Like, Jesus, savage.
Not only so Blake is savage about that, Weiss is savage about Pyrrha's taste in men. Our girls are savage. They're sass masters. It's what they do.
Hell yeah! Anyway, that's explained that Sun will introduce his team when they get there, or one of them at least.
Yeah, literally just one of them.
And this caused a bit of a thing for some fans. He says they're all, and I quote, total hotties.
I believe he was really just trying to, like, be a wingman for that particular situation.
Yeah, no, that is absolutely the case. But I just saw some people be like, whoa, are they confirming Sun's bi? No.
I do not believe that is the case.
I mean,
But
if that
also,
did turn out to be the case, okay. Like, sure.
I mean, no, it is fine, obviously. It's just, I don't believe that was the goal.
Yeah, it's just he hasn't really shown any interest in another guy, so...
Yeah, that's the thing.
Hell, if you read
But,
the books, he's basically just hanging out with Velvet a lot of the time.
But, but basically, Weiss, you know, she makes fun of Pyrrha's taste in men. It's just like, you know, she could have been on a much better team and all that. And RWBY is all like, oh, is that how it be? You don't even want to be on this team? And Weiss is all like, I literally did not say that. And she did. And it's like, well, that's fine. I'm going to make this team the best team in the whole world. And even if you beg me, I ain't going to let you back on. And then Weiss is like, I literally never said that I wanted to leave. And then they have big adorable laugh time. It was all a jape. They were having themselves a giggle, and that is good.
Yeah.
I like when the girls are happy.
So do I.
Freaking smug Yang face. Oh my god.
I'm also just letting the scene play out because you're talking about stuff that was ahead of me.
Yeet. The son's all
Oh, there's like
hey,
multiple
yo,
cats
what?
just snapping.
Yeah, there are many kitty cats. Blake's all like, hey, you know, my friends are freaking weird, but I think they're pretty swell, and I like that.
Yeah, just
They're fun.
yeah. And just throwing this out there, it's not that Blake likes being alone. It's just, you know, it's just how she's had to like live a good chunk of life, and she's not used to having this many great people around her.
Yeah, and now she's got many. She has friends, and
Yeah.
it is cute.
She got a
And
happier
then Vera
life.
shows, and then
And-
they see Juniper, and
Sorry, before we
and,
get to that, I want to just clear this up.
okay,
Like, that laugh I had at Blake's line about the whole what friends. Okay, the way it's said does sound like she's, like, ragging on Sun a little bit.
yes, she is. That is canon.
And I'm also just gonna throw this out there, and this is calling back to the whole Weiss saying, oh, I'll tell the police about you being a stowaway thing. And, because we were talking about Sun showing up to Beacon before his team. Yeah, that is brought back up in the book. It's actually not explained why he did that.
Really?
Yeah.
Weird. Then why would they bring it back up?
Well, because, like, you know, Scarlet and Sage in particular are still mad at him for, you know, ditching them to go after Blake after everything that happened at Beacon. Like, 'cause, yeah, well, Blake needed a friend and he helped her out. Dude, they needed him too.
Yeah.
After everything that happened.
Yeah.
And that's also not the first time he's just ditched them to go off by himself.
Well, I mean, look, I can't defend him for any of his past actions, but in that particular instance, you gotta look deep down and
Yeah, no, I do. I'm just saying, like...
No, listen, I want to make a damn joke here. Like, the point is, you gotta look down on yourself and you gotta realize there's something here. The rest of Team Sun, are you a cute anime girl? No. Therefore, Blake wins. It makes sense, and no one should blame him for this decision.
That's true enough. And I will say, he goes through a character arc in that book, and I like that.
And we'll see if that actually amounts to anything whenever we see him again. Anyway, it's Team Juniper. Jean is training. Pierre is being supportive. Mate's getting sad.
Happy and sad, because it's adorable, and... Man.
And you know how it all ends.
I miss
Anywho,
Arcos.
Yeah, I know. Nora wants to be at the dang cafe, but she's not allowed because it's John training time. Ruby sends a picture over to her, and then she's like, dang it! Now I want it even more.
I have to ask, what are Nora and Ren even doing here?
I don't know. Emotional support, but Nora's bad at it? That's my guess.
I mean, if anything, if I were Nora and I was, you know, trying to get those two to be a thing, I would have, halfway through this, I would have suggested that her and Ren, like, sneak off so they could have some alone time.
I mean, they are holding hands now.
I would say it that way to Pura specifically. And just have her get a little flustered.
How dare you, sir? Get out of here with that.
That's what I would have done if I were Nora.
Yes.
Just saying.
Assuming that's all you've got to say with that scene.
Well, just her saying, like, man,
I'm
Sean
making-
sure is a weirdo.
Yeah, Nora's like a weird friend.
Yeah. But Ren brings up that, you know, there are ways that Jean could actually be the strongest.
And, I mean, he isn't yet, but he's working on it.
Yeah, Nora brings up to Ren, but you know, you're the strongest of all of us.
Which, I don't think that's true at all, but I mean, I get where I understand why she said it, but that's also just not true.
Yeah, sorry, like, Nora, like, just... I get it, but it's just my brain is naturally going to just like, my brain's just going to physical strength, okay?
Yeah, no, so here's the thing, like, there's being thirsty, and then there's just being a liar pants. Like, Ren is either, I mean, he's like third in Team Juniper when it comes to pure raw strength, I would imagine. And I'd say Jean probably could maybe hit harder nowadays, but I'm just talking in context of like right here and now. That's just what I think. But yeah, that's obviously not really where Nora was going with that, but I get it.
By the way, of the main cast, I know I can bring this up.
Okay.
Ren was not able to hold the hound back. Blake was. I think that's a clear indication.
Yeah, but also at the same time, Blake it's almost kind of become a bit of a character trait of hers to be inexplicably stronger than I feel like anybody really expects her to be. Like, for some reason, she just has more gains than most people, and it's always weird whenever it happens, no matter how many times she does it.
I want to know what's in Remnant's tuna.
Anyway, Blake's drawing at him.
Hang on, I'm not at that bit yet.
Ah, come on!
Sorry, you're talking about stuff that's further ahead.
I'm not, and I'm pausing constantly, so what, are you playing the episode at half speed? Like, damn, man.
No, it was just pause while we were talking anyway, so...
Okay.
Don't think Blake was
That's
necessarily
plausible.
drawing at him. She's just writing in
That
that,
is-
and there's already a drawing of him.
Okay, well, whatever. The point is, Adam's in that book.
Yeah, we're basically just getting like the start of Volume 2 playing out.
Yeah.
They bring
It's
back the
basically
what
worth-
you doing.
Yep. And she's being big sass.
This is
She
cute.
is not allowed to. And I know it is. It's freaking adorable. And then Yang does a nom. I was like, also, I'm just throwing this out here. When I saw the animation of her catching the food, that looked way too goddamn big to be a pea. Like,
I always thought it was a grape.
I guess it could.
No, but yeah, it's got to be grapes because there's fruit lying around. There's apples,
yeah, okay, fair
oranges. There's a watermelon.
Either way, the grape that got thrown at her is much bigger than the ones next to Nora. That's all I'm saying.
I guess maybe it was just the biggest grape.
Perhaps. Anyway, people like those. Yang likes grapes.
You know what's hilarious about you mentioning that?
What's hilarious about me mentioning that?
I'm wearing that shirt right now.
Of course you are. I'm gonna be entirely honest with you. Okay, so RWBY shows up and she's all like, she's doing her whole, sisters, friends, and then Weiss thing, which I don't know. It feels like that's even more of a weird thing for her to be doing after the Ice Queendom events. Like, okay, come on, we're friends now. Stop that.
A little bit. Although she says, "My dear sister, my dear friends," when going over to Juniper. I don't know. Part of me just imagines Blake being all, "Oh, right. Well, I guess I know when I'm not wanted. Bye."
Dorks. However, RWBY is going on about her best day ever thing and screams to the heavens.
Title drop.
Yang does her... Yep, and then Yang does literally her one and only pun that she basically ever does.
At least in the
Everyone's
Beacon days.
I know, I'm just saying. I'll always bring up the fact that it's usually the fan community will always have Yang out to be like some kind of pun machine. Even Ruby Chibi played into it, but like she really doesn't do it that much.
It's just because of Barbara.
I know, but still. Anyway, she gets decked in the head with an apple. Tunk. Like what was?
I love that shot. And she
It's a good
throws
shot.
a different one back at Nora.
Yeah. And then Ruby stole Weiss's binder. Why'd she do this? Why not
I
get
love
your
that
own
the
dead
food
one?
fight's kind of already started. And it's just them like just doing that while Blake and Weiss just watching, and Weiss is all, "Hang on, did you steal my binder?"
She dead.
And she still does a little peace
Weiss-
sign.
It's very cute.
Although this time she doesn't quote a politician.
Which is good, because that was weird then too. Why, like Ruby? Why are you quoting Richard Nixon? That makes no sense. Anyway, Weiss gets hit with a pie, and now she is big Angie.
I love the shot faces.
Yeah, everyone is like, "Oh, you made
That
a
was too
mistake."
far, Nora.
Yep. But as it turns out, it is Weiss who ultimately comes to the conclusion that a food fight must be done, which is amazing because it's an added little thing to her personality and her growth as a character. And if you thought I was gonna not talk about that, you're a fool.
And Beacon tradition. And Yang mentions that Tai told her and Ruby something about that.
Yeah.
And I guess the cafeteria food fight is a tradition.
Apparently. Either way, it was still Weiss's main idea, and I'm very happy about that. And Weiss is also able to just beat Nora upside the head with another piece of fruit, and now there you go, boom, revenge. And all those other nameless fools leave the scene.
Yeah, it's
Tragically, there
Ruby
is no
versus
queen.
Juniper.
There is no queen of the castle.
Nah. Also, it's Osmond and Glenda approaching the cafeteria, not Sun and Neptune.
Yes. Anyway, I really like this reanimated version of the food fight.
I do too.
I
just
like that
letting this play out while we talk.
It makes the whole thing like this version of the events, with the exception of Jean still getting absolutely annihilated, it's portrayed as a more even affair. Weiss has a swordfish.
Blake's got the
That's all I
baguette
ever
swords.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, but see, the thing is, in the food fight proper, Weiss didn't really get to do a ton before she got whopped with a watermelon. And this, it feels like she's able to make more of an impact, and I appreciate that greatly.
Yeah, also, I love that this is like what they're ending Ice Queendom on. Just silly, but quite an amazing spectacle, and one of the biggest things about Volume 2.
Yeah, no, it was probably the best.
Yeah. Just a silly, over-the-top action scene.
Yeah, but it's very well animated, though.
Insanely well animated.
Yeah.
I mean, it was well animated back then, too.
Yeah, obviously. I'm just saying, it's just neat to see it again. But yeah, we get the Salem monologue again, although we're not supposed to know who that is at this point in the story timeline, but yeah.
And it's just like so many shots they recreate, like Yang trying to kick Ren, but he blocks it with a leak. Like,
somehow.
The clash between Blake and Pura, which goes on for quite some time, honestly.
Yeah.
Because they showed it once, and then they showed it again.
Yeah.
And there's Weiss and Nora with the swordfish and the hammer with the melon.
Yeah. Then Ruby does some pretty awesome flippity-doos, makes the soda explode, and we get some really pretty pictures of the girls. And this was real good. I liked it.
Yeah, this was like a fantastic way to end this.
And as I said, I was worried about this series when I heard about it, but ultimately, it was real good. Also,
Well,
I admit that I'm jumping slightly ahead here, just because it's the last thing worth in the episode to talk about. It's the end picture at the very, very end, and it's like one of the most adorable goddamn pictures of Team RWBY ever.
yeah, of all four of them. Yang taking a selfie.
Yeah, with them at a fair. It's so cute. Oh my god. Like, I actually want like an art print of this on my wall. It's so cute. Like, RWBY, why you do this? Stop trying to steal the ice cream. It's rude.
Yeah, and I also want to call attention to another little thing.
Okay. What is this thing?
Once I can find it proper. After the end credits play and before we get, like, you know, the English credits, like who did what, and the picture, we get this screen cap. In loving memory,
Okay, what do we...
I believe the human spirit is indomitable. If you endeavor to achieve, it will happen given enough resolve. Monty Ohm.
A nice sentiment.
Yeah, this whole thing was done as a tribute to him as well.
It was, actually, yeah, because it's something that he always wanted, and now he finally got it. He didn't get to see it, but it still happened.
Yeah.
And that's not nothing. That's real cool.
And well, as you say at the end of every Let's Play you do, ladies and gentlemen and everybody in between, that was RWBY Ice Queendom.
A good series once you got past the first 3 episodes.
Yeah. We
I'm
joke
sorry,
about
look,
being
that's
RWBY
just
Persona a lot, but, you know, it's still great.
I mean, look, what is that supposed... That makes it sound like what? Persona's not great? Persona's fantastic. Yeah, no.
Oh yeah, Persona's fantastic. I'm waiting to play Persona 4 because they're bringing it back out.
Yeah, no, it's a great series, and combining the two in any capacity is a good combo. I like it a lot. But yeah, so like this was a really good miniseries. I enjoyed it a lot. The first 3 episodes were rough, but once we actually got to the original,
Well, I mean,
plot, it was
episode
really good.
3 in particular. The first 2 were good.
Okay, the first 2. Okay, I'll concede. I will go ahead and say the first one with the expanded versions of the white trailer and whatnot,
And the black trailer.
and all that. Yes, that was real good. That was solid. I like that. Episode 2 was a bit, a little meandery and kind of cost-cutty here and there, but it was still fine. Episode 3 was hot garbage. Like that was a
with some
bad
good,
episode.
with some good here and there.
Yeah,
I'll just say,
here and
I
there,
feel
but
like they did need an extra episode for that. Like that
Yeah,
probably would have
they really
benefited
did.
so much.
Yeah, they condensed way too much. But anyway, my point is, once the original plot starts, incredibly good all the way through.
Yeah, and all the voice actors
I don't know if-
do a great job. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, as you'd expect, they've been playing these characters for a long time, and you know what? The Japanese cast were solid all round from when I watched the sub. It's just I have more of an emotional investment in the English cast. So that's also why I praise Aaron so much.
I know you do. I mean, look, I have nothing but good things to say about Kara's performance as Weiss the whole time, so I'm feeling real good about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you know, at the end of the day, this had a lot of Weiss in it, and that's basically all I ever really wanted anything in my life.
Yeah.
So I got that.
I mean,
I wish I got more normal Weiss, but still.
Yeah. I would say in this series, the three main players, the three main characters, are who has the biggest spotlight? I mean, RWBY, Weiss, and Blake.
Yeah, they are the most important.
Yeah. And while the spotlight isn't on Yang a lot, she still does stuff. She fought Big Nicholas, and that was awesome.
Yes, but at the end of the day, she had the least to do.
Yeah, which is why if we ever get another season like this, maybe a recap of Volume 2 and something that's set between 2 and 3, I'd be okay with it being centered around Yang.
I mean, give her more to do.
Yeah, I mean, maybe make it about, her and Raven.
That could work.
Because I remember hearing, originally in Volume 3, there was also meant to be a Raven versus Team Juniper fight.
Mm-hmm.
But it had to
That would have been something.
But it had to be cut.
Yeah.
And there's also that post-credit scene Volume 2 had, where it's just, Yang walking up to Raven, and they have that little exchange. Yeah, you could work that back in.
You could.
Yeah. Plus, it would answer a question that fans have had since Volume 5, and it's, when Raven's brought up by Lionheart, and John questions, Yang's mom? People still question how he knew that.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the best he could really go with is just he was told.
Yeah, but, this series could just... That wouldn't be, a main reason to do it. It'd just be, yeah, it would have that added benefit.
Yeah, I get you. I would approve. But yeah, no, I mean, ultimately, here's the thing. This was, at the end of the day, a series about Weiss. That was the goal here. The actual, people behind it said that they really enjoy Weiss as a character and they wanted to explore her more. And they did. And it was really great. After that, I'd say... Blake probably had the most as far as full-on development and everything.
Yeah, I can see that, especially given the whole Shadow Blake thing.
Yeah, and not for lack of trying when it came to RWBY, but we didn't see Shadow RWBY, now did we?
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. They clearly wanted to show more with Blake. And I understand that because...
And mainly with the stuff they did with Blake, it kind of makes her the MVP of the series rather than Weiss. Which is...
Yeah, but I don't know why... Yeah, but what I find most interesting is the fact that you felt the need to say that out loud to my face.
Hey, if the situation were flipped...
I guess,
you know
I don't know, I like to feel like I'd have more tact. I don't have to be a bully.
Yeah, but I'm also saying it's a little weird.
It is very strange that Blake is so freakishly important to what is something that's sort of it's supposed to be a Weiss thing, but
no, well, I mean, it's also just expanding on their dynamic, I guess.
It is. I'd say more so than anything else.
Yeah,
that is what it is. But regardless, we got lot more Weiss, and that makes me happy. That's what matters the most to me.
Yeah. And, something funny I realized, because like this is like all taking place in dreams. That's how Monty came up with RWBY.
It's true.
He had a dream, woke up from it, and he only remembered red, white, black, and yellow.
I was like, all right, I don't know what the hell that means, but I'm gonna make a bomb-ass anime about it. And then he did. That's the crazy part.
My favorite part of that is one day he just walked up to Kerry when they were like taking a break from Red vs. Blue, and he just says, "Hey Kerry, red, white, black, yellow." Kerry had no context. He had no idea what he was going on about, so he just goes, "Yes, Monty, those are colors."
It's true. They are. No, you fool. It's the new bomb-ass anime.
Yeah, he was just like,
That's
"Want to make an anime?" And they did.
Yeah.
In fact, after they did...
Look how far it's come.
And you know what? After they finished Season 10 of Red vs. Blue, Bernie approached Monty and was just like, "Hey, now that we've wrapped that up, is there anything you want to do?" And he's just like, "I do have this one thing." And he just pulls up...
I have this one thing.
He pulls up a program of Crescent Rose, just in its gun form. And he shows the sequence of it morphing into its scythe form.
Yeah.
Just from that alone, Bernie said, "Okay, whatever this is, we're doing it." That's all it took.
Hey, it worked out really well. You can't say it didn't. But yeah, there you go. That's Ice Queendom.
Yeah.
Anything else you could think to say?
Well, just that this was a great series. It was phenomenal seeing RWBY done in like traditional anime style.
Yeah, I mean, it was always anime, but like, there's a difference.
Yeah, like it's more of a 3D anime, whereas this was like, you know, traditional like 2D stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm down for seeing more if they want to do this.
Yeah, they're more than welcome to do so.
I mean, to be honest, I'm
As
just
long
down
as
for
it's
more
up, you
RWBY
know.
stuff. So
Yeah, I like RWBY. That's a good show. Theoretically, there might be a season 9 one day, but it's hard. Nobody really knows for sure.
hopefully next year.
Hopefully, we'll see. We'll see. Get follow up on the talking mouse.
But yeah, going back to the whole like Monty thing, it's something that like the cast have talked about. It's just like he had a thing he wanted to make, and well, he did it.
Yeah.
And as for like the voice actors, for a lot of them, yeah, the RWBY girls were their first actual roles. And like seeing how far they've come as like voice actors, being able to like go back to these moments like in the early days and like redo it with the skill they have now. And just how like phenomenal they've all become.
Oh yeah, no, it's a very noticeable difference.
Yeah, they often say they were just like in the right place at the right time. Just like, yeah,
Be that as it may, it's still awesome.
Yeah, like if your friend is like working on something and you want to like help him out, then yeah,
You just should.
do it, get involved. And
Word.
who knows where it could lead to.
Lord knows I have my own series that I really want to get off the ground someday. I don't really have a lot of the resources available to me, but it still means a lot to me, and I want to make it happen. And one day, somehow, in some form, I will.
Yeah, like you have characters and a story that you know you want to do, and I want to see it be a thing.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And you know, if you're watching, you have like something like that. Like you have characters, story ideas. Like, you know, make a thing out of it. Even if it's just like, you know, write it down or whatever. Who knows what could happen? Even if it's just like a fan fiction, where like you watch a show, you really want to write a story about it. Yeah, go for it. Hell, like one of the RWBY writers, Eddie Rivas, he got his start writing Dragon Ball fan fiction.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. And I guess this is the part where I admit it in a video.
Speaking of...
Yeah,
Don't you have something you want to tell people?
Yeah, for the better part of like for the better part of like a year or so, I've actually been writing a RWBY fanfiction of my own. Of course, it's like centered around Blake and Yang because where else would it be?
Yeah, no, I mean that. Yeah, you have 12 guesses and the first 11 don't count.
Yeah, it originally started like when I was at my warehouse job. It was just something to like keep me in good spirits because I couldn't really like talk to people for like that long. Because I was being tracked on like how much progress I was making, so I couldn't just like chat with anybody. And there was cameras everywhere, so it's not a very sociable workplace. But I just had to like entertain myself in some way, so I started thinking of this, and it just like evolved from there. And eventually, I was just like, I kind of want to write this down. You know, I'm gonna do it. If anything, it'll just make myself happy.
Yep. Basically, over a whole ass year, he did it.
Yeah.
And I was a sounding board. I helped a little.
I was gonna get to this. So, I was originally like kind of skeptical about like letting anybody know about this because I'll admit, like the premise of the story is a little weird.
Yeah, I get that.
Because it's centered.
Thing I've ever seen in a it's not the weirdest thing I've seen in fan fiction, so it's fine.
It's centered around so it's post-series. So like no more Salem. The world is good. The characters can finally be happy.
Finally.
And it's Blake and Yang having a baby. That's somehow both theirs. Like, I've seen stories like that, but they also don't really provide that much of an explanation. They just say, yeah, it's happening.
Yep.
Like,
you give more of an explanation than that.
I gave something. It still kept a little vague.
Yep.
But and up to reader interpretation, but it is there.
Yeah. Yep. And y'all, if you really want to know, you're more than welcome to read it yourself.
Yeah, and like as I was writing it, I was
it's a good reason.
Actually talking to you about this.
You were.
And even a whole lot of ideas that were ultimately cut, which thank God.
That's why you share these things with people beforehand.
Yeah, I was just writing
your first
like
idea every time isn't always the best.
Yeah, I was writing like chapter upon chapter upon chapter, and eventually, like, I thought to myself, should I post this? And
I helped convince him that he should.
Yeah, and I want to shout out you, Kira Armstrong, and Yang the Insane for test reading every chapter, and all three of which gave me their stamp of approval, and also some feedback here and there so I could improve on a few things.
There you go. That's a good enough endorsement right there. Just throw it out there. And now he's doing that.
And while I haven't actually posted it publicly, not yet. It will happen one day.
That kind of comes with this.
I want to thank you in particular for a little something.
What's that?
The art of the resulting child.
If you want to show that, you're more than welcome.
I'm not going to show that here because, well, the current chapter that's out, they're still not born yet.
Okay, all right. Well, yes, I have done a small amount of art in support of this particular story because I wanted to. And I'm very happy to have done so.
Yeah. And I absolutely love it.
Yeah. So there you go. Some nice fun times. Had a real good show. It's very creatively inspiring. It's definitely inspired a few things on my own, creative properties. And it's causing this guy to start writing stuff too. All in all, it's pretty fantastic.
In which I even begged you to like, okay, so for Weiss, can you help me write this bit? And
yeah, you kept coming to me to make sure the Weiss was written properly.
Yeah, and
I'm proud of that.
I'll just say in chapter 7, there's a part you wrote in particular that I freaking love.
Yay!
Like, when I say wrote, I mean it's like a whole ass paragraph of like what Weiss would say.
Yeah.
And
I like to think I understand her character.
Yeah, and just like the sass from it, it's just like, damn.
Yep. So there you go. So if anybody wants to check that out, they are more than welcome to do so.
Yeah, I'll leave a link to it on Wattpad in like a pinned comment or something.
Yeah, go for it. And there you go. With that, that's Ice Queendom. Real good times. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the incessant ramblings of which we always go on about. And we will return whenever we can finally get around to it. There's some other things we can make some videos about, but
yeah,
you know,
like,
primarily we're really just kind of sitting here waiting for Volume 9 to happen.
Yeah, I mean, there's the Arrowfell discussion we could do.
Yeah.
And of course, with Deathfall Season 9 over, we can talk about that.
I suppose we could.
And
yeah,
anger many people
then,
with our tastes in certain episodes.
Regardless, we're not here to get into that.
No.
Yeah, ended on a good note. This was real good and it was fun. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves. We'll see you sometime later.
And always remember, Blake and Weiss are the best goals.
Mostly Weiss.